the huge success of the new series of Robot Wars on BBC Two, I decided to make some robots of my own out of my favourite building product, Lego. Here we go. This is robot number 1, it's called Second Offence. This is how it originally looked. Unfortunately, I realised that it was very easily flipped, and when upside down it couldn't self-right, so I've added a self-righting mechanism, which opens and closes like this. And in battle it can flip over using it thusly, and shuts. You may have noticed the weapon on the front is a serrated saw as well. I'm just saying it's there. Robot number 2 was very fast and had this wonderfully large axe, which I really liked. Unfortunately, it was very easily flipped onto its side and couldn't self-right once again, with the same problem with the first one. So I've completely redesigned it and renamed it from Dodgem to Scorpion. As you can see, it's now got a completely different framework, new axe which is longer and comes down with a lot more force as it's heavier as well. It's also got these side bits, these wings, to make it more stable and less likely to lay on its side and be stuck. It can also self-right better from upside down, from vertical completely, and slightly on a slant as you've seen. It also features this little mini-bot as well, this little insect mini-bot which is there for getting in the way. Robot number 3, which is Big Flipper, has had no such redesign. It only has 2 wheels, which operate very nicely and mean that it can flip better, like this, and gets back to that original shape for being underneath robots better, getting in lower ground clearance is the main thing. It can self-ride like this using this little red bit to flip itself over nicely and resets once again to that shape to go away again. Robot number 4 is Blue Murder. It has this front serrated saw which is at a slight angle, which makes it different to the other one, and it can angle itself to different places, more on that later. This flail at the back is to get in the way of other robots. It operates like a mini-bot would, and it almost fell off the table there. Whoops. It is flipped quite easily, but, you know, it's got wheels on the other side, so it works just as well, and that is why the angled saw is there, so it can angle itself to work better this way up. Number 5 is Spin Cycle, so called because it spins a lot like this, and it keeps going. The top bit wouldn't be there if this was a real robot, that's just so you can use it as a play feature. It's really fun to spin it, and it works really nicely because the wheels operate separately. They don't have to go the same way round like a lot of the old Lego wheels did. Number 6 is the Executioner. It has 8 wheels on the bottom, meaning that it has more stability on the ground because this large spinning blade on top, which is the weapon, would just go everywhere, and the robot would go everywhere if it didn't have all those wheels. Again, this top bit wouldn't be there if this was an actual robot, that's just for a play feature. You may recognise this next robot, it's Razor. Yes, I've made a Lego Razor, and I'm very happy with this. As you can not hear, basically, this is a smooth system which has the original claw beak thing. It can also self-right when flipped like this using these side panels that used to be on the beak. But there was no way of attaching them, so hey, I've just done them on the side. It's my own version, it's Razor Evo. You may notice a bit of glue because it used to self-destruct when applying any force. This is the third of the 3 modified robots. It's called Armadillo. The armour used to come off, the front plate used to not be low enough to the ground to pick up anybody, and when flipped it never used to be able to self-right, so I had to do a lot of work to this. The main weapon of this is a front lifter, not a flipper, because it is slower in how it works and doesn't have the over-exaggeration of it. This is the Shremek on the back, which works thusly, and so you just flip it up, there it goes. And it's very similar to Second Offence. This was actually done first though, so I based the Shremek on Second Offence off of this. This is the first of 4 robots built from a special set of Lego. It's called Blood, which is Russian for brother. It is a clusterbot, which means apart from doing this dual thing, it can also be split in half and work as 2 separate mini robots. Unfortunately, if flipped too powerfully, it can't self-right, so the other one comes along, flips it, and gets stuck itself, and it just goes on and on and on and on and on until you get sick of them and just sort of throw them. This is Unity, the second of those 4 robots. It has a massive flipper and 2 mini-bots that can help it out if it gets stuck. It also works both ways up, this main bot, as it has a smaller set of wheels on the top and can flip either way up. The difference between mini-bots and a cluster-bot comes out as one whole robot. Mini-bots come out separately. Number 3 from that box of Lego, this is the Wasp, and it has this sort of axe thing that sort of works, but in addition it's got this little front lifter, which is alright. Unfortunately, when it's upside down it can't self-right and becomes cannon fodder because it breaks so easily. Blah. This is what's known as a modular robot. No, it doesn't drive around like this, and it's not a modular city. A modular robot is basically a kit car of robot fighting. It simply clips together with like bolts or something in the main show. It's really easy to assemble basically, so you've got your main robot and it can drive along like this. The weapon is this front lifter, which is the reason this robot gets the name Bulldozer. And it can also be used as the self-righting mechanism, nearly, and return to this shape to be the lifter again. This robot, which is called Taser, uses parts from a LEGO Age of Ultron LEGO set, and it is a flipper, as you can see, and can self-right like that. It's quite a little neat, natty vehicle. It's quite small, but can get in underneath other robots using these front 2-pronged flipping things, which is a more effective way of getting in underneath, I think. This is the last main competitor robot for now. It is called Piranha, and it features this lovely little front flywheel. Here we go. It sometimes needs a little bit of adjusting on the front. There we go, it's spinning properly now. Really like this one. It is one of the smallest, if not the smallest robot in the competition robots, so yeah, it's quite defenceless. It's got no self-righting mechanism. Lastly, we've got the house robots. Here we have the first one. It's called Reaper. It's got this double-pronged axe, and it can also hold on to robots and lift them because of these front claw things on the floor. I mean, it's got a low ground clearance at the front, which is cool. Second of all, we've got Space Invader. It's got some wonderful design on here. And is a full body flipper, once again very similar to Taser, though I assure you this came first, which is possibly a slight disadvantage to the other robots, I suppose. Next we've got Furious George, and it's this wonderful Mad Max style vehicle with all the teeth and the flames and the back exhausts and this massive cutting blade at the front which just comes over. Not as much force behind it as some of the other robots within the competitor robots. Lastly, we've got this one, which is basically a giant castle turret. I've not named this yet. It's got this lovely sword yet. Yeah, I've not named this yet, so if you've got any ideas, please do leave them in the comment section below. But yeah, it's just a really nice robot, and I've only finished this one today, so yeah, I'm quite happy with it. And so that brings us to the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like, or don't. Please subscribe. I don't know what that is. Don't just tell me this is a waste of time and it's all just Lego, because that's just rude. It's rude. And I won't stand for it. I won't. Thanks for watching, and goodbye. It's just a stupid hand. God.